The Thompson family, eager to escape the monotony of their daily lives, embarked on a winter vacation to a secluded cabin nestled in the heart of a snow-covered forest. The quaint charm of the cabin belied its mysterious past, unknown to the unsuspecting family. As nightfall painted the landscape in hues of indigo, the Thompsons gathered around the fireplace, sharing laughter and warmth. Yet, an unspoken unease settled within the cabin, unnoticed by the family members. The temperature dropped, and the crackling fire seemed to dim as a spectral presence enveloped the surroundings. Strange occurrences began to unfold. Whispered voices echoed through the corridors when no one spoke. Unseen footsteps left imprints in the snow outside, leading nowhere. The family's breath hung in the air like a spectral fog, and shadows danced on the walls, taking on shapes that defied explanation. On the third night, the Thompsons awoke to the eerie melody of a forgotten lullaby. Panic set in as they realized their belongings had rearranged themselves during the night. A sense of dread washed over them as the walls seemed to close in, each room bearing witness to inexplicable phenomena. Unable to shake the feeling of being watched, the family decided to cut their vacation short. As they packed hastily, the cabin seemed to resist their departure. Doors slammed shut on their own, and windows rattled against an unseen force. With trepidation, they stepped out into the biting cold of the winter night, the moon casting an ethereal glow on the snow-covered landscape. A distant howl echoed through the trees, causing a shiver to run down their spines. The forest seemed alive with unseen eyes tracking their every move. As they trudged through the frozen wilderness, a phantom wind whispered chilling warnings, and distant cries echoed through the pines. The path back home became a labyrinth of unsettling shadows and ghostly apparitions. The family's footsteps echoed loudly in the stillness, accompanied by an unnerving chorus of spectral whispers. With each passing moment, the forest seemed to tighten its grip on the Thompsons, testing their resolve. The air grew thicker, and the temperature plummeted, their breath visible like ghostly specters in the frigid night. As the first light of dawn broke, the family stumbled out of the woods, breathless and haunted by the ghostly ordeal. The cabin, now a distant silhouette against the emerging sun, stood as a silent sentinel to the paranormal mysteries that had unfolded in its secluded embrace. The Thompsons, forever changed by that fateful winter vacation, carried with them the unsettling echoes of a journey that transcended the boundaries between the living and the unknown. Once, a group of friends decided to embark on a night camping adventure in the dense woods that surrounded the small town of Ravenshadow. Excitement filled the air as they set up their tents beneath the towering pines, eager to enjoy the thrill of a night in the wilderness. As the night unfolded, they gathered around the crackling campfire, sharing stories and laughter. The moon cast an eerie glow through the trees, creating shadows that seemed to dance in the darkness. Unbeknownst to them, the ancient woods held a secret that would soon turn their joy into terror. As the fire dwindled, a subtle rustling began in the underbrush. The friends dismissed it as the wind, but the sound persisted, growing louder and more distinct. Whispers echoed through the pines, chilling the air. They strained to make out the words, but could only discern fragmented sentences that seemed to speak of long-forgotten secrets. Fear crept into their hearts as the whispers grew more insistent. In the distance, an ominous figure emerged from the shadows, a spectral figure draped in tattered robes. The friends huddled together, paralyzed by a fear that seemed to emanate from the very heart of the ancient forest. The figure drew closer, revealing a face etched with sorrow and longing. It spoke of a curse that bound it to the woods, a curse that demanded the exchange of souls for freedom. The friends, now desperate to escape, begged for a way out. The figure offered them a chilling choice: sacrifice one of their own or become permanent residents of the haunted woods. Panicked and desperate, they turned on each other, succumbing to the darkness that permeated the forest. The whispers reached a crescendo as the sacrificial ritual unfolded, sealing their fate within the ancient curse. The figure, now satisfied, retreated into the shadows, leaving behind the haunting echoes of its laughter. The once joyous campsite now lay abandoned, the wind carrying the chilling whispers through the trees. The pines stood as silent witnesses to the gruesome events that transpired that night, a warning to those who dared to enter the haunted woods of Ravenshadow. A few years ago, I matched with a guy on Tinder. To be clear, I was identified as CF on my profile, and so was he on his profile. We matched and started texting, and I again made it clear that I don't mind kids, but I did not want the responsibility of any. I wanted to live my life for me. He claimed to be the same. We texted for about 2 weeks before meeting up. I'm super safe that way. And yes, I checked his social media and such. It was pretty sparse, but no red flags. Since mine was the same, I couldn't really say anything. He seemed to post about as much as I did, so all seemed on the up and up. We had a lot of the same likes. Loved music of many genres. He played the guitar, and I play the piano and violin. Both liked animals and enjoyed casual hiking. Loved to read, though I've since come to realize he was definitely lying about how much he read. Honestly, he seemed great. We kept things casual for about the first month before we decided to make it official that we were dating exclusively. We saw each other probably 5 times a week for 6 months. Anything from overnights, his place and mine, to quick lunch dates when we were both busy. Things seemed to be going great. I met his friends, he met mine, and we made plans to meet each other's family over the holidays. Then comes the talk. You know, the one where you're more than casually interested and actually starting to think long-term about a partner? The one where you make sure you're on the same page about long-term life goals and ambitions? So we are having dinner, and I let him know I'm on track to retire at 45, and that I want to move to Europe and travel extensively. Take up writing and art again. I'm trying to delicately get around to what his financial situation is like. If he's got hundreds of thousands in debt, I need to bail, but if he's only marginally in debt, I'm willing to invest in the relationship at this point because he seems so great. Funny, smart, kind, hot as hell, and a damn good lay. LOL. So it happens. He literally knocks me dumb as he takes my hand and looks deep into my eyes and tells me there's something he's been keeping from me. I'm thinking he's about to let me know he's so far in debt that he'll be working until he's 90. Nope. He's got kids. This motherfucker had 3 kids, and not only that, he has sole custody. I'm literally stunned speechless as I listen to him explain to me that the condo we're currently sitting in is in fact not his house, but his single brother's, who agreed to let him use it for our dates, so his parents can watch his kids at his house since their apartment isn't kid-proofed. I remain speechless as he explains he didn't tell me earlier because he was afraid I would stop speaking to him, and that he can't bear to lose me because I'm the most amazing woman he's ever met. He tells me he wants to spend the rest of his life with me, and I'll be such an amazing mother to his kids because I'm so smart and level-headed and not a drama queen at all. This bastard then goes on to say that instead of me retiring early, I should sell my house and help him pay off his mortgage and debt, and then we can save to put all 3 of his kids through college, and once they graduate, they can get good jobs and send us to Europe on vacation. I just sat there staring at this fucker as he looks at me with such an excited expression on his face. Like he already had the next few decades of our lives planned out and fully expecting me to be jumping with joy that he sprung his little brood of mini-me's on me like it is some fantastic surprise. Planned in a way that was the exact opposite of my child-free life plan. I had been up front with him about from day one. I literally didn't say anything once I came back to my senses. I just stood up, grabbed my bag, and walked out. He, of course, followed me and kept telling me I was overreacting, and please come back so we can have an adult conversation. He tried to keep me from getting in my car, and I finally faced him and told him I was 1 second away from dialing 911. He finally stepped aside and told me he'd be waiting for my phone call when I finally calmed down and was ready to be rational. Over the next 2 months, I was forced to change my cell number and threatened to have a restraining order taken against him and his whole family because he, his mom, his dad, and his fucking brother all started harassing me, blowing up my phone all hours of the day, coming by my house and my work. All of them telling me what a horrible person I must be to hate children so much that I would turn a great guy like him down. It finally stopped when I went to the police. I didn't have enough to get a restraining order, but they did send an officer to his house to tell him to leave me alone. He called one last time to leave me a message and tell me I was going to die a lonely cat lady and he was fucking done with me, and that I was lucky he'd given me the time of day because I wasn't that hot anyways. Owen, a software engineer, led a seemingly ordinary life until a chance encounter with a mysterious clown set off a series of horrifying events. It all began when he noticed the clown standing in the shadows at the edge of a carnival he attended one fateful night. The clown's unsettling grin seemed to be etched into John's memory, but he dismissed it as a creepy but harmless encounter. As the weeks passed, John started glimpsing the same clown at random places, a distant figure in a crowded subway, a face among the shadows in a dimly lit alley. The unnerving encounters intensified, leaving John paralyzed with fear. The clown's sinister grin seemed to follow him everywhere, an ever-present reminder of an impending nightmare. One night, John decided to confront his stalker, desperate to end the torment. He followed the clown into an abandoned amusement park, the rusting rides creaking eerily in the silence. The air grew thick with tension as the sinister figure led John through a maze of decaying attractions. Suddenly, the park came to life with flickering lights and haunting carnival music. The clown, now surrounded by an army of animated mannequins wearing equally sinister grins, revealed a twisted truth. He was a manifestation of John's deepest fears and regrets, a grotesque reflection of the darkness within. A harrowing game of survival unfolded as John navigated the labyrinth of horrors, pursued relentlessly by the grinning clown and his lifeless minions. Each escape route seemed to lead to another nightmarish scenario, and the line between reality and nightmare blurred. In a final showdown, John faced the grinning clown in the dilapidated funhouse, mirrors distorting the grotesque image into a nightmarish kaleidoscope. As the confrontation reached its climax, John shattered the mirrors, breaking free from the suffocating nightmare. Gasping for breath, John found himself outside the abandoned amusement park, the sinister laughter of the clown echoing in the distance. The nightmare was over, but the haunting grins lingered in John's mind, a constant reminder that some horrors are born from the depths of our own fears. The carnival lights flickered and dimmed as John stumbled away, forever haunted by the night he barely escaped the grinning pursuer. The stormy night cast an eerie atmosphere over Adam's aging house, its time-worn facade groaning in protest against the relentless onslaught of rain. Alone in the dimly lit living room, he attempted to find solace in the glow of his laptop, its feeble light flickering in rhythm with the ghostly shadows that danced across the walls. As the rain outside intensified, so did the disconcerting sounds within the house. Faint whispers echoed through the narrow hallway, an indistinct murmur that seemed to defy the logic of an empty home. Adam, dismissing the noises as mere figments of his imagination, chided himself for allowing the storm to play tricks on his nerves. Yet the phantom echoes persisted, growing more audacious with each passing minute. The whispering seemed to form coherent sentences, like distant conversations just out of reach. Unease settled over Adam, transforming the once familiar rooms into a labyrinth of uncertainty. Hesitant footsteps echoed from above, the attic floorboards groaning beneath an unseen weight. Shadows elongated and twisted, seemingly animated by a malevolent force. Adam's attempts to rationalize the inexplicable sounds were shattered when he heard his name whispered in a haunting cadence. a voice that bore an uncanny resemblance to his own. Fearing the encroaching darkness, Adam sought refuge in the bathroom, a small sanctuary with a flickering bulb that cast elongated shadows on the tiled floor. He locked the door, his breath catching in his throat as he listened intently to the phantom echoes that followed him. The whispers grew more insistent, their spectral voices weaving a tale of forgotten secrets and buried regrets. The bathroom air thickened with an otherworldly energy, the walls seemingly pulsating with an unseen force. Adam, gripped by an overwhelming sense of dread, strained to decipher the cryptic messages hidden within the echo. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. A series of thunderous bangs echoed through the house, each reverberation sending shockwaves through the bathroom. The door rattled under the unseen assault, as if a malevolent force sought entrance. Panic clawed at Adam's chest, his mind racing to comprehend the inexplicable. The banging reached a crescendo, the very foundations of the house trembling under its weight. And then, silence. The oppressive energy dissipated like dissipating fog, leaving Adam in bewildered solitude. The bathroom, once a refuge from the spectral tumult, now stood eerily quiet. Tentatively, Adam opened the door, half expecting to confront the malevolent force that had tormented him. To his astonishment, the house stood silent and still, devoid of the ominous sounds that had plagued him moments earlier. The storm outside had subsided, and the rain now fell with a gentle patter. Haunted by the inexplicable events, Adam never fully shook the feeling that something supernatural had visited him that night. A spectral force that manifested in the haunting echoes and phantom footsteps. The rain outside gradually subsided, leaving Adam to grapple with the unsettling uncertainty of what had transpired within the walls of his seemingly ordinary home. The echoes, now relegated to the recesses of memory, lingered as a testament to the inexplicable and the unknown.